What is going on YouTube? I'm sorry, let's try this again. Hello, YouTube. All right. So this is part 3 of the series on creating a video. The video itself is actually already finished. And now we need to finish up with things like a thumbnail, a title, a description, tags, and you get to see how I use TubeBuddy to help me accomplish some of those things. Just for a recap real quick, if you haven't seen some of the other shows, let's take a look at the video that was created, not just for y'all, but as well for me. It was last week. I've had a camping trip since then, and so I kind of need a refresher as well as to what did I put into this video. I think that'll help with the description as well as the thumbnail when going through and picking what we're going to do for the thumbnail. So let's take a look at the video.
Let your sister out. Let my daughter go. Daisy, don't scare away the horses. So we're driving home from Lake Brownwood, and we passed through Johnson City, and I thought it'd be nice to stop and find a park. And there's this Lyndon B. Johnson National Historical Park, pretty much right in downtown Johnson City. And I noticed from the map that they have these big bus and RV parking spots.
Now it's Sunday about 5-ish. Nobody's here, but that's all right. All kinds of neat stuff to walk around and check out. The girls want a playground. I'm not sure if there's one, but we certainly can walk around and see if we can find one.
Hello. Where'd Kira go?
Who's Kira? There's a dragon running around. Johnson City is kind of in the heart of Texas. It's the central. It's between Fredericksburg and Austin on 281 and 290 where they intersect. If you're into wine, there's a massive amount of wineries from here going west towards Fredericksburg. Blew our minds how many vineyards there were. Never seen that many before. What do they think they are? France? Is that where wine is popular? If you're in the area, it's a nice place to stop. Walk around the old buildings. There are some longhorns to check out, as well as some horses. It's really neat. Just gotta watch out. If you push the button at the old house, the lady will talk to you forever and tell you stories. Forever! Hi, Tanya. What you doing? Hey, did you kill a dragon? I see you got some dragon wings on there.
The dragon shed her wings.
The dragon shed her wings. Well, this was a nice little pit stop on the way home from Lake Brownwood. Nice parking for an RV in Johnson City if you want to get out and stretch your legs.
Daydream of hitting at me. Take me back, all the way back to them days. Daydream of hitting at me. Have me running around in a gown and a crown. barefoot, have me running around, dressed in a gown, barefoot.
All right, that's the end of the video there. I always have it go off in the corner like that so I've got space to put up my end cards and my subscribe button, things like that. I'd like to welcome in Nursing Our Travel Bug, and thanks RV on the Wayside for being here. Nursing Our Travel Bug, this is a show I have been doing where I have been teaching how I make videos. So appreciate y'all coming in. The first two on the series, I made the video, and now today I'm going to work on the thumbnail, the description, the tags, everything that goes into the YouTube studio to make the video get 40 views. All right. Tanya and I were getting a kick out of that. That longhorn was like looking at me from behind that post, like it was hiding behind a tree, like, you can't see me. Anyway. All right, so I think we work on the thumbnail first because that's just the most fun. So I like to look through what photographs I've got first. Some of these ones here really pop with the color. They're too wide though. It'll definitely have to be chopped to actually fit into YouTube to meet its 1920 by 1080 resolution for the thumbnail. But I like the color. This one was taken from my phone, so the quality when you zoom in is not quite as good as the more expensive camera, but how many people are really going to notice? Even when you watch it on a big TV, if you're flipping through looking for a video on YouTube on a big TV, the thumbnail still does not fill the whole big screen. So I think something like this would work. And for me recently, with Texas Family Camping, I have been getting away from putting words on the thumbnail, aside from the little logo. It's something that I had discussed with another YouTube content creator a while back. This person told me it was kind of a gutsy move to go without putting words on there and just let the picture speak for itself along with the title. But I really like photography, and I'm trying to make that gutsy move and let the photo speak for itself. I really like the color on this one. I'd say my other options, I like the angle of the barn that the horses were in. The only bummer is that the horses are over here. I was going to point with my finger, but y'all can't see that. The horses are over here. The barn still looks nice. I feel like the photograph is a good composition, but the blues and greens also aren't popping out as bright as this other picture. Could go with something like the longhorn. That's all right. But I really feel like this picture speaks to me for the thumbnail. I think I'm going to go with this. Some of the other options, like this picture is taken with the Canon camera. It's a neat picture. Shows off the longhorn, but it's very centered on the longhorn. I kind of like this one too, but I felt like Tanya and the girls weren't really, their posture or stance in the picture doesn't really help the picture. That's a good point, Donovan. All right, NOTB, who's talking? Said, let me put it up there so that we can share out for anybody who rewatches. I think the photo has to be compelling or intriguing in order to stand alone as a thumbnail. That is a very good point. Very good point. Here's some pictures that Tanya took. From her phone. I'm not looking for clickbait. Nice. Yeah, anytime you say guess you, I'm going to guess Natasha. So few people have seen Longhorns that might grab a few new people. That is a really good idea. The proximity to the Longhorn may help, because that's a good point. So, all right, let me just pull them both up here, and I will alternate between the two. So this would have been my first pick. It's a great picture, but I like what Donovan brought up. You know, I don't know how many people are thinking, oh, I'd like to go see a log cabin with some log fence today. It might just be me. It is me. I mean, I do want to see that today more than my neighborhood. However, that is a good point. Come on, help me alternate. The proximity to the Longhorn is something not a lot of people have access. So now this video may actually help them say, here's a place you could go and get this close to a Longhorn. All right. Since y'all are batting at 1,000, let me close out the pictures we got open, or that one. Let's go. So you think I should go with the one that I had up, or should I go with one that's really more focused on the Longhorn, bit of a higher quality picture? Turn this one on y'all. I am not putting look at that rack. Somehow I feel like NOTB is going to come later on this video when it's out and put look at that rack in the comment section. All right. Well, this is a lot of fun. I got a couple of professionals hanging out in the live stream helping to teach this class today. Somebody comes along and watches this live stream on the replay later on, they're going to get some valuable information. Okay. Now, just because the colors aren't popping on this one doesn't necessarily mean we can't get them popping a little more. So let's close that out. I've got two different applications I can use for coloring, but this is Lightroom. This is a photo that I put out on social media today or yesterday. Lightroom is another Adobe product, but it doesn't really let me do the words or the logos or anything like that. So we'll close that out. And I like to right-click, open with Adobe Photoshop. Huh? Lovely. Let's have some random Windows errors. Donovan, they have signage that specifically say, stay away from the Longhorns. They are unpredictable. That's their exact verbiage. Yeah, I'm not going to have words on there. I'm going to just put a color across the top, our usual color, as well as our logo. I didn't have to fix it. I just had to hit OK. Yes, Adobe. Can't wait to get a new laptop. kind of wish I could load this on y'all's laptop to see how it performs before I go buy it. One of the things I had discussed on the previous episode of this was the Canon makes a RAW file called a CR3. The CR3 can be opened in Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom, but trying to drag it into Adobe Premiere, it's like, I don't know what this is. I'm like, how do you guys not have that much coordination over there? Yeah, so it's really hard to get a monthly rate in Colorado Springs. Someone waited a little too long. Best I can do is August to September. All right, so we got the picture up here. First things first, I like to go through and make some adjustments. This is something I've been playing with. I know that other people will buy something called a LUT that's available to a lot of people. There's some out there that are free downloads, and you can just apply them, and it'll do a color correction. And that is, I wanted to learn how to do this color correction myself. I did not want to rely on somebody else. So I like to come in here and get crazy with the colors. It's good to try to remember where you started on the numbers. I started at 15. It's pretty bright already, so probably a little bit down would be nice. Some of these sliders you can blow all the way out and it'll look good. And sometimes you just want to have a nice gradual adjustment. I always think this is neat, like the whites and the blacks. You can take a picture with this camera and stuff will be completely dark. You won't be able to see it at all. And you take the blacks slider and slide it all the way to the right, and it brightens everything up and you can see what was in the picture. Yeah, I called and spoke with the KOA that y'all are going to, and they're like, we don't do monthly rates. I'm like, I don't have time to work camp. You got a new Apple coming, huh, Donovan? I got to sell a car so I can buy a laptop. Okay. So these three right here, texture, clarity, and dehaze, these get really interesting. Okay, look at that. It gets all fuzzy. You go clarity, and it's like adds extra so much detail to the picture that it kind of makes it not attractive. This is one I usually stick like real close to what it was originally. Clarity is kind of similar. Softening it up a little bit but to the negative looks nice. And then dehaze kind of brings some of the darks back, but makes it look nice. Now, this is two that I have a lot of fun with. I will blow these two all the way out. Look what it does to the colors. I think that's just a trip. I tend to use too much of these. There was one point in time where a friend saw one of my pictures and they said, it almost looks fake because I just had so much color in there. I didn't care. I thought it looked like a lot of fun. I'm going to get to that green in just a moment. Okay. So I used to play with this curve more. Now I just play with the white part. There's a red, green, and blue. But I felt like my pictures were getting really wonky with the colors. So I just tend to play with the light part right here. I tend to bring it up over here and bring it down over here where it's kind of blown out a little bit. And then under color mixer, this is where we get fun with green. You see that everything's yellow, everything's super green. This is where, so about where it started, bring in just a little bit more. And luminance, make it brighten up. And play, since there's a lot of yellow in that grass, the yellow can have an effect on this too. You see that? It's like I almost took all the yellow out and swung it to the green side. But take it back like that, you can still see the greens that were there originally. But when you go like this, you turn almost all the yellows to green. I'm still gonna stick kind of mild on this one. Keep some of its natural color. It's still gonna be pretty green. Yeah, let's see if I can do anything with the sky. There's not a whole lot of sky in the picture. Check this out. Watch the wood on the fence post. You don't realize it, but it's reflecting so much of the blue sky. When I go like this, the wood turns purple. When I go like this, it's like this interesting teal color. That's because the color going across that wood is bouncing off of the sky and into the camera. I always thought that was pretty cool. So one of the things I've done is when you take too much, you wind up with a purple sky. I find taking some of these back sometimes will give me more of the blue I'm looking for, or maybe that way. There we go. And some of this is going to just come down to personal preference as well. And if you move a slider around and you see almost no adjustments, like I just barely see something in the sky, you could probably just leave that one alone. Wonder what this is going to do to the head of the longhorn. Whoa! Oh, now I feel like eating some those little individually wrapped cheese. Yeah, that's too much. I think keeping it in its natural realm. I think if I bring it back a little bit, it still has its kind of natural reddish color. It just makes it a little bit easier to distinguish. And that's about all I do. There's more here, like detail. But these Adobe programs, there's a lot to them. I typically don't go all in on all this stuff. But I'd say we've got a good contrast here between the green of everything and then the red hair on the longhorn. I think that's going to really pop and make people pay attention. So we'll go ahead and open. It's going to now take it into Photoshop. That was kind of like a Lightroom add-in, I guess, to Photoshop. All right, so now for me, this is the way that I make thumbnails. I have got a data sheet for stuff I commonly use, and I have the color coding for the purple that I like. I keep in this pad. And I will come back here, and one of the first things I do is, I'm not really sure what this little circle down here on the right is. I know everything's so small right now, probably hard for y'all to see. But if you click on this little circle here, it comes up the option for solid color. I put that in, it's orange for some odd reason. Right down here under this number or pound or hashtag is the color coding, and I will paste in our favorite purple and hit OK. Then I will click this. So I'm working on the right-hand side. I know it's really hard to see on such a small screen, I'll click this lock to unlock the picture, drag the picture on top. So now the picture's up there on top. This next part is one that I struggle with. Somebody's probably going to watch this and make fun of me. Y'all may make fun of me right now. I need this to be 1920 by 1080. The picture is going to be huge because the camera puts out 8K. The photograph is an 8K size. So what I do is I play a guessing game. I come in here, it's image size is width 6240 by 4160, and I know that if I put in my 1920 here, it will auto chop the height. The actual picture dimension is not going to change at this point. It's auto adjusting the height to the width for what I set. So now I need to chop off some size. So something of this picture is going to get chopped. I think it's going to be this guy. So on the left here, this was something I had to find and add. The crop tool was not automatically on the side. I would have thought that would have been one of my first things that would be there. I'm going to take that down. We'll chop out the sky and let the guessing game begin. I would love for someone to come along and provide me some kind of formula that would help me to auto know what number to adjust it to. I'm trying to get that to 1080, so I'm still going to have to chop some more. Take some off the bottom. Also take this time to save it real quick. That's not saving the photo per se, that's saving the project that is this Photoshop project. So if there's anything like the layer that's below it with the solid purple is there. You add any words and they're floating and you want to go back and adjust them later, you can, if any of my thumbnails that I've done like this, I can go back, open up this Photoshop project, and I could make adjustments. I could change the letter sizings or the fonts and then re-export it without ruining what happened before. So it's like the original photo is always going to be there. It's one of the things I like about this program. I'm also quite positive I'm not using my Adobe products to their fullest extent. Wow, I still got a lot of chopping to do. I'm going to keep taking it off the top. About there. Let's see what that looks like. $10.25. All right, I took too much. But I need to add a purple bar, but this purple bar might be too big. So to get the purple bar to show up from what's on the background, Donovan, I think I've tried that before, but it didn't necessarily work out. Let's just say I've gotten where I've gotten by poking. Yes, I can get better at this, and I will continue to get better at this. This is kind of where I'm at in the stage. So if I go to image and I go to canvas size, and now I'm going to make it bigger. I'm still at the guessing game. Now we've got the purple bar at the top. Let's see what our size looks like. And 46. This is something where gotten to the point where I'm doing this so many times. I'm just kind of used to it. Add a little bit more size. I tend to not always get it all the way to 1080. But I'm fine with it being close. I used to be way under, and that allowed for me to have black bars on the top and bottom of the thumbnail. I was okay with that. It feels cinematic. $1071, I think that's good enough. All right, so I have got several logos. I'll use the bigger one because it's a pretty big photo. I get nice and simple with a little Microsoft Paint. Control A, Control C, go back to Photoshop, Control V, and then I just put that right up in the corner. And in my opinion, I'm going to leave it like that. Like I said, in the past, those of you that are here right now, you know, I used to put big words, purple and white, things like that. Just being a little braver these days and going with just that, because I'm going to allow the title to just speak to what is this? So we'll see how it works. The beautiful thing about YouTube is, while you can't go and change your video per se, if you are unhappy with your thumbnail, you can always adjust it later, anytime, even 10 years later. I'm going to save it where it's at. Not like that. Oh, well. I always tell my daughters, mistakes happen. It's what you do after your mistake that defines you. Okay. So this time we are going to actually export it. I always call my export thumb, just so I know where to find it. I saw recently one of the bigger channels on McGuire Mondays was talking about, name your thumbnail something else related to the video because it will add to your SEO. I tried it. I think I got enough SEO. I think I like to stick with my file management. Okay. So I like to keep it all together. This is my file structure. Audio is like music or any sound effects for the video. Project is all the Adobe Premiere files. Video is all my pictures and videos. The description will be there. I also always copy my link out of YouTube and put it in there. I'm going to put my thumb right there. I forgot to show y'all one other thing to watch out for. This is something that definitely applies to YouTube. It may look different if you guys use other programs to make your thumbnails. Over here, see where it says 1.7 megabytes? If that's over 2, YouTube will reject your picture, your thumbnail. So just make sure to watch that. If I got to that point, I have had that happen where the photo, for some reason, I guess maybe if it's got the words on it, stuff like that, the file size was bigger. So now I've got my dimensions just right, and I would come over here to scale, and I would start to lower the percentage down, basically making it a smaller file. It's still in the right format or resolution. And then I could export it at less than 2 megabytes, and now YouTube will accept it. It's still in the right dimensions. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think the best thing for anybody making videos is to stick with what you know. When you start changing too much stuff up, it can be a little bit frustrating if you wind up getting lost. All right, so I've already exported. I'm going to close Adobe because it takes up a lot of resources. Close that. Hey, who has seen, since you guys are here, I want to make this into a sticker. Who has seen this? Anybody? Anybody? This was done by Sophie from the McGuires. It was done the night of Nursing Our Travel Bugs monetization party. Since our channel hit our 1,000, they went out to supper that night, and Sophie, in her excitement, drew this up, and then they sent me that picture. And I have since chopped it down. I really, really want to do like a limited edition, like 50 sticker run, not even sell them, just give them out to all of our friends, as like, and especially several to Sophie. It's just like this, special thing. All right, back on track. Is there a track? I don't know. Back to here. So we've got our thumb. Now I've already got the video uploaded. That's something that takes a lot of internet, as you all know. I haven't worked on anything in here. I've literally just left it there. Try to get my folders all moved around so I can do this right here. Okay, so there's the thumbnail that's going to go in. But now we need a title. Raise your hand if you use TubeBuddy. So if you've got TubeBuddy and it's tied to your account, it's a plugin. You can see up here at the top of Chrome and then here at the top of YouTube. And it's got a number of tools that you can use. And I love Keyword Explorer. So I just start with some obvious ones. This is the Lyndon B. Johnson Historic Park. So that looks terrible. Let's try LBJ Historical Park. 47 is good. Ooh! I think we've got a keeper. That was fast. Just for grins, I want to go look real quick. Wow, it pretty much just showed where I am. I better not do that again. Okay, here is. So it says National Historical Park. So I'll add in the national and see what happens. But as of right now, that score is looking pretty sweet. It got better. Are you serious? 89? What was it, 87 before? 83. Wow. It's amazing sometimes. Yeah, I don't want a stalker. I better sell my house and move away. All right, so I have had a discussion with another YouTube friend of mine. I won't name him because I don't want him to get frustrated. I felt like his titles were crazy because he would put like the key details in the title, but then he would add a bunch of extra words to the title. And he would state that it ranked really high with TubeBuddy. Like, but who's searching for what you've put in the title? So with this, at least I'm quite confident that there are people that are curious about this place and want to go there. So I think, it's great that the actual name of the park gets a great score. So yeah, let's just leave it at that. Stop talking. All right, where am I? Oh, I need to be here. All right. Lyndon B. Johnson National Historical Park. Perfect. We got our thumbnail. And I say let's make a description. So what I do for descriptions, I'll make it small. I will pull up an old description, copy it over, because I have a lot of information there, like links to social media, things like that. It can be a lot of work to repeat over and over and over again. Yes, y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, what was my last video about? Oh yeah, it was an RV. I had made some tweaks to my most recent one, so I would like to pull these up. Okay, so I'm just going to copy it all, and then I can tweak it over here. So here's my description for the Lyndon B. Johnson Historical Site. I know right off the bat I don't need my talk about the new toy hauler, as well as the 3 hashtags. I know that y'all that are here right now may know about the 3 hashtags, but anybody that's new may not. You are allowed to put 3 hashtags in your description. The first 3 hashtags will be put as a clickable link outside of your description underneath your video. So you've got your actual video playing, you've got your title, and then you will have 3 links. It helps with SEO and I don't know. I don't know why I do these videos so late at night. At any rate, it definitely helps with your SEO. So if anybody were to search for those 3 items, I guess it makes it much easier to find your video. So since we put Lyndon B. Johnson in the title and it played out great, let's put LBJ Historic Park. LBJ National Park. That's a key phrase, especially if you're from around this region, because there is literally an LBJ State Park about 10 miles west. It could be a bit confusing to people. You can almost play off of that. I don't want to mislead people, though. I don't want someone to search for the state park and then I want them to search for the right park, get the right park. I don't want to mislead them and make them think this is the state park when it's not. There's no camping here. I'd probably go with Johnson City if anybody was searching for just Johnson City. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so a lot of other stuff that I've got here, just a quick explanation about our channel, our various links to social media, Amazon links to the gear that we use. I got a little goofy. I don't know if it's goofy, but I'm always wearing these Under Armour shirts. You don't see me wearing, I don't have a mildly entertaining shirt. I would like one, but I'm afraid they won't be comfortable for me. And I don't have never fake a sarcasm, it's rude. Same reason. I'm very picky about the type of clothing that I put on, as well as the length for tall guys. Now, I know Bill knows what I'm talking about there. Donovan, you're pretty tall too. So one day I was just like, you know what? The Under Armour logo almost always shows up in the video. So I just added this comfortable and cool shirts for tall men. And it links to the tall shirts from Under Armour. I don't know if anything will ever come of that. Here's the link for Epidemic Sound, as well as a TubeBuddy link. And this is some stuff I just grabbed off some other people's that I thought, that'd probably be good to have on our videos. I don't think anybody else is going to look back at this and go, you stole that from me. It's generic, but at the same time, it's good to have information. Can be found under most of our videos. So I used to put a top paragraph on the same Yes, you should put that about big and tall shirts on the Will I Fit videos. That is genius. All right, so at the top of my description, I used to put one big paragraph, and then somebody had pointed out that the first, I can't remember how many characters or words, like first 50 words gets thrown out there more. And so I've kind of made a small paragraph and a larger paragraph. This is a lot of times just off the top of my head stuff. If you pay attention to a lot of the analytics type people, like if you were watching McGuire's on Mondays tonight, I was telling Donovan, I said, I've heard a lot of these details. So in my desire to be successful, I've done a lot of YouTube research. They say, wow, my train of thought is terrible. All right, I got the 2 paragraphs, 50 words. There we go. TubeBuddy is looking for if your title is in your description and if it's in your tags. So I start off my description with my title. And I'll make sure that that gets into the tags as well. I usually stick with the same 3, but are those, I don't even know what they were. What do y'all usually put? Is it full-time family, travel nursing? Because that may help you in a different way. Something that I've been struggling with recently that I'll talk about more in a little bit. Donovan, it was historic goal that got the better score. I know you're doubting my memory because I'm losing trains of thoughts left and right here, but it was historical. I'm always a stickler, like I'm self-moderating myself to stay within a certain border there. All right, so let's talk about that for a minute. Oh, the reason, okay, hold on. We'll come back. Donovan, the reason I put historic park in the hashtag was for the slight tweak, slight difference. That's what I was looking for. Because think about what comes to our frame of mind. You've got the exact way that it's spelled, and then a lot of times people say things wrong, and then they search for things wrong. So I'm just trying to hit both. It's the same place, right? That's my goal. I'm trying to get the people that spell it wrong and the people that spell it right all to the same place. All right. Nursing Our Travel Bug. Ask yourself for a minute why people would search for Nursing Our Travel Bug. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I've had this conversation with Donovan and quite a few other people now. When you're new and you're a young channel and you don't have a lot of followers, you have to ask yourself, why would people search for you? So just think about that. If you're trying to get more views on your videos, you may want to use those hashtags to draw the people into what they're searching for. So you want to put something in those 3 hashtags that people are actually already looking for. I would say putting that in would come later. So when you watch like the big channels, like let's say you want to watch some Keep Your Daydream, they're a big channel a lot of people are curious about, and you might just put in Keep Your Daydream and take you right to it. But at this point, how many people are putting in nursing our travel bug to get to it? There are those of us that do and want to, but right now you're looking for the people that don't know you. So that's my take on it. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, I promise. Okay, back to the creative process. Yes, there are some that will search for you. That's true. Like I said though, you want to attract the people that don't know you. You're still looking for those people. There's 1,200 people that know you and want to watch your videos, but there's millions out there that don't know you yet, and you want to get them. Okay. Can y'all hear the girls in the other room? Just my heavy breathing. My coughing. The home of Lyndon B. Johnson and his family can be viewed as well. Come on. Well as. I'm just digesting your thoughts. I have opinions about my own videos. I have videos that I make that I love. There are Texas family camping videos that I love so much that probably half their views are me rewatching the video I made. Then I have videos about portable toilets that I've never watched again, but 2,000 people have watched it. You know what? I know one that you guys have. You said you didn't want to make the one about the ladder. That's actually one I need to watch again because I need a ladder for our RV. You didn't want to make it, but that's the video that's gotten you some attention. Those are oftentimes the videos that get us somewhere. I say, make all the videos. Don't just make 100% of videos that the other people want. This is a conversation Donna and I have had all the time. It's all practice, and it all builds up to you making something better. So when I'm making videos and I put hours of effort into something that amounts to 5 seconds in a video, I'm now a better video maker for it. 20 people may have watched it and didn't care, but I learned so much. It's almost like going back to college. You think back to when you're in college and you're doing some project or whatever, and you struggle with the thoughts of, why am I doing this? It'll never matter. But at the same time, it's making you a better person. So I make the videos. I make them the way I want to. I learn new things, apply those, put the videos out there just because I need to put videos out there. But as time goes on, I can go back and apply what I've learned into the videos that maybe I didn't want to make, making them a better video. I don't know. This is some deep stuff today. I honestly don't know what else I should add to this because there wasn't a whole lot to this. I know. I'm going to add the title again. Just a little something extra. A lot of times I don't put a whole lot of meat to this if I don't necessarily need to. And I save it so I don't lose it. That might get, oh. I'm glad y'all are here tonight to add to this video. Thank y'all so much. This is some great stuff for anybody that goes back and watches this video. Let's see, the young dragon shed her wings. Did she shed the wings, or did her mama take her out and take her wings? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put it in there because I've got extra characters to spare. What would happen? Somebody searches for dragon, finds our video, and they'll be like, "What is this?" I'm gonna put spread her wings because she was really doing a lot of that. Okay, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna copy the whole darn thing. I'm gonna pull this back up and I'm gonna paste it right there. Now I've had this little struggle internally as to if once I put all this there, TubeBuddy helps out with tags. So I think that TubeBuddy needs a moment to process and think about that. So right now I'm going to take this. This is the future shareable link, and I'm going to click copy right there. And I'm going to go back to my folder, and I'm going to get this one right here. Now I've been doing this the whole time I've been making Texas Family Camping videos. Someone may say, well, why do you do that? I don't know. Just seemed like a good idea at the time. Excuse me. All right. Let's go take a look at the tags. Playlists. Well, it's not a state park. Kind of an RV tip, but not really. Small towns, I guess. Yeah, I think this would be small towns. Even though I didn't actually say this is Johnson City, it is really, there's not a lot else going on there other than vineyards going to Fredericksburg. And of course, you can always add to more than one playlist if you like. Oddly enough, I've gotten away with this. No, it's not made for kids, because it's really not. If anybody were ever to sit me down and interrogate me, like, there's kids in your videos. I'm like, my videos are made for the parents. So the parents can see how their kids will react at the place they go to. That's my intention. All right, so it's thinking about tags. It definitely pulled in information. It already knows stuff about Lyndon B. Johnson. I'll go ahead and set my video language to English so it can do its own processing of a caption. Really? That is not a fact I've heard. Interesting. 3 or more playlists. I'm going to research that. I'm really curious. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. Because what would that be? I mean, that's easy for me to just add it to more playlists. Could make more playlists, you know, while touring Texas, while driving in an RV. That would easily. I don't usually put recording date. I'm not really sure why they would need that per se. I usually leave most of this stuff. Now here's a new one. Donovan and I just discussed this the other day. Allow shorts permissions allows people to create shorts using parts of this video. Not all videos can opt out. Nursing Our Travel Bug. I don't know if you're aware of this. This was just added recently. All of your videos will have the blue checkbox checked, allowing people to sample your videos to put into shorts. You may want to look into that one. And travel and events, and I always hold potentially inappropriate comments. All right. It doesn't look like we have anything ranked by score. So we will start right off with the title. Well, I think this would allow them to steal it, but then it would be easy to be like, Donovan watched a bunch of stuff on that. I would go on check that box if I were you. I haven't got all of mine unchecked, but I've got a lot of my main ones unchecked. My problem is now I'm making stuff out of order. I literally have other camping trips that happened before this. All right. So I got my title in there first. Now I'm going to go in here and add. There we go. Johnson City. See the LBJ Ranch. That's the state park. And the Texas White House. That's the state park. Whatever this, why is it cut off? Protected site. Well, that's what it is actually. National Historical Park. Wow, there's not a lot of here I can use. I think I'm going to be making up tags myself. I think I could use this one. Looks like a ranch. Can I take it out? I like that. I'll put Texas in too. I usually put that as one of the last ones when I get down to like 490 characters, and I'm like, in Texas. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is more about the state park than it is about this National Historic Site. There's one. Okay. Well, I'll just put it in right now. There we go. Okay. Johnson City. So definitely use this for the different misspellings or different variations that people would search. So I got LBJ Historic Park and LBJ Historical Park. I don't have National Park, LBJ National Historical Park. You know what? Let's get a Google Maps. I don't have anything else on there. We got Settlement Road. There's the Boyhood Home of LBJ. I could put that in there. We didn't tour it, but if you go there, you're going to see it. Okay, what was it called? Boyhood Home of LBJ. Yeah, I tend to do that kind of stuff too when I get down to the end. If I'm grasping at straws like I am right now. I'm really grasping at straws. What would be another great, like a roadside attraction? Let's try that. Johnson City, Texas, roadside attraction. It kind of is like, that's how we addressed it. We were literally on the way home and we're like, hey, let's stop here. Dang it. What in the... There we go. Yeah, that is a good idea. I don't know about love a longhorn, but like what was... I don't want to say pet a longhorn because that's dangerous. Pet a horse. Ah, there we go. Deer. No, because then people would be like, I'm deer hunting, and then they would be very upset. Could I fit log cabin? Oh, dang it. No, we don't need that in there. That's fine. Ooh. Trail. Because it was trail. All right, there we go. Real close to 500 characters. Okay, we got everything else we need in here. All right, so this is something that not everybody's going to see and get you a chance, if you're not monetized, to see. So if you've passed the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, and you've been accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, you will get this tab added. And the first thing you want to do is turn monetization on. And then you're going to have options like this. Only videos longer than 8 minutes are eligible for ads during the video. So those would be the mid-roll ads, but for some odd reason, it shows it as checked. So the display ads, you cannot turn those off. Those literally show up like when you're watching on a computer and on the right-hand side, you have like what's next. That ad will be up in the top right corner. The overlay ads are the little ones that cover up the video. I think I'm fine with leaving those in this video. You know what? I'm not, because the very beginning, the Texas Family Camping comes down, and that might cover it. Sponsored cards is if somebody wants to put a little link in the top of your video. Skippable video ads and non-skippable video ads. Some of you may say, I don't want to do that kind of stuff because I'm being like a jerk to the people watching. It's where your money is going to come from. So if you're in this to make money, this is where you get to pick how profitable you're going to be. So it is fun. I'd like to show in the future the actual managing of the mid-rolls, because you can go in and actually pick exactly where a mid-roll ad would be. So if you make a video and you build in your own commercial break, you can put the commercial there. I like that because when I make my videos, I'm imagining I'm making a film, and there are certain parts it's like, do not interrupt this. So if you just turn it on and let them manage it, it's going to be filled with ads. You'll make a lot more money, but your art may be ruined if that's how you envision your videos. That is a very good point. So I don't know. I think, yeah, both of y'all are in the group. There's a Facebook group, RV Content Creators, and there is a big name channel in there where he's selling RVs on behalf of the dealership he's working at. But he's actually doing very well. And he said he did not want to monetize because he did not want ads popping up for something that would not help them sell RVs. But then they started putting ads on anyway. So he went ahead and he applied for it anyway, because then he could actually control through Google's AdSense what ads were playing. So he could fine tune it to make sure that no competition like Camping World shows up when it's like he's competing with Camping World. So this is new. I have not seen this pop in. Let's just click around. Type manually. If you want to take the time to actually type it in there and make sure that the subtitles are accurate, it probably could really benefit your video. I am not mentally prepared for that right now. I'll stick with what I normally do. Add an end screen. So I usually add a video first, and I usually choose a specific video, and I try to make it similar to what, or have like a relation to it. But this one, I'm going to pick the Pedernales Falls State Park. And the reason for that is Pedernales Falls State Park is literally right outside of Johnson City. So if you're at Johnson City, you may want to go to Pedernales Falls, or you're already there. So you put it in like that. Then I usually put in my subscribe element. Now, I don't make them come out at the same time. I like to taper them. Makes me wonder how many people actually watch to the end to see the amount of attention to detail I put. And I need to know, so the Longhorn is right there. If I put another video up there above the one I put first, oh, I snapped the camera over. So about right there, I could add another video. I don't know that anybody's ever clicking on these. It's just good to put them in case your channel blows up someday and a bunch of people start watching. All these little pieces will start helping you greatly. So what else? So we've got Pedernales. Could do another state park. Could do a town. Yeah, I'll do that. I will add the Marfa video. Like I said, who's watching, right? All right, let's see how that plays out. Okay. I'm happy with that. I don't add the title cards all that often. I know some people would say, you need to do that. I can go back. You can go back and add this stuff whenever you want. So I was told by somebody to watch your retention rate. Go to, if people are watching for 4 minutes and 3 seconds, go to 4 minutes and 2 seconds and add a link to another video that may be enticing or similar to this one. I've thought about that. I may do that someday. We'll see. Uh-oh. Rate your video. This is brand spanking new. I saw this in an email today. They said, rate your video, and then we'll rate your video. And then as time goes on, if your ratings are similar to our ratings, we'll trust you more. I was like, what? Okay, what happened? Click. What happened? Don't break on me now. What? So it's just checking? I don't understand. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm glad I could help. And you'll be getting there soon enough. Once you do, we'll have lots of discussions and help you get everything set up right. Because there's more to it than just what you saw there for that one video. There's a lot more to it. I was told originally when monetizing with YouTube that I would not have any option to pick the type of ads that air before or during our videos. And I did a lot of digging and found that you don't do it on YouTube, but you go over to your Google AdSense account, and there you can actually block types of ads. So you will never see a trailer for a horror movie during a Texas family camping video. There's a list of things that I check the box, like don't show that, don't show that, don't show that. So, well, if you look down here, the little blue check is blinking and it's saying checking. I'm used to this right there, actually, where it says 4K. I'm used to that being HD and blinking as it's processing. But since I got this video actually was uploaded on Thursday, it's had time to go through all its processing. So I'll go forward. I like to go ahead and schedule them. Right now, I've just been doing one a week on Thursdays at 5 p.m. I always set the time zone. I've always wondered, what happens if you don't set the time zone? Will it just become available at 5 p.m.? So like every hour in a different time? I don't know. That's weird. I used to do premieres. I don't know. I almost felt like my feelings were hurt when people didn't show up to premieres. So I walked away from doing those. It's personal preference. I honestly enjoy it now. Like the video goes out and I'm like doing something with the family and like, oh, a video went out. Oh, cool. I enjoy that more than having to be involved right at 5 o'clock and then nobody shows up. So it's still checking. On my head schedule. Your video's visibility and monetization may be restricted. Huh. Wow, I've not seen them check so hard. Yeah, that is a good point. Help keep up your time, making sure that people are watching the whole way through. So, pretty much done with this for now. I'll talk for a moment on some of my perceptions, things that I've learned in the last year and a half while doing YouTube. So we've gotten into this habit where we're going out and we're watching each other's videos and we're leaving comments and everything. But it's quite obvious that there are a lot of people that are not watching the whole video. And that is actually hurting more than anything. And the other side of that is there are some of us that I feel are building everything up solely on the fact that they go and watch a bunch of people's videos and then people come back and watch all of their videos. Are they having any level of actual success? How many non-content creators are watching their videos? That to me is where the success is at. So I have gotten away from leaving comments on all the videos I'm watching, because if I leave a comment somewhere and somebody comes back and they click on my video and they leave a comment, and do they watch the video? So I keep it closer to the heart now. The two of you that are here right now are definitely close to the heart, and I watch your videos and leave comments. Well, okay, I'm not going to say anything. So there are people that are out there that are just, they're watching a bunch of videos and not really sure they're watching all the videos. So it's disappointing. It's been a little bit depressing for me, because at the time that we reached monetization, we were really going up. And I wouldn't say I cut ties with anybody, but I just I pulled back on what I was doing, because I was trying to get a real good look at how many people are watching the video and not leaving a comment, because I feel like that's a better measure of our success. And I know that we always say we don't do, was it sub for sub? We don't do sub for sub because that's bad. But I think some of the other habits we've got into may be bad as well, because there are people that are abusing it. So exactly. And that, it's a tough one. It really is, because there were some, I don't know. I did get to the point where I was disappointed when I didn't see people watching and making comments. So I'm thinking about it from this one side, one perspective, but then I'm from the other perspective. It's like, yeah, I want to see everybody come and watch my video as soon as it comes out and leave a whole bunch of comments. But from the other side, I'm thinking, I think it's hurting me more than it's helping me. But fighting between the two is almost putting me into a little bit of depression. It's tough. I feel like maybe some of the choices I made weren't the right choices. Hindsight is 2020, but it's hard to even say that it's 2020, because I'm looking at YouTube analytics and YouTube algorithms, and that's not something I could really. Yes, and I agree with that statement very much. My job has picked up. Work has been a lot busier for me. Plus, we've got this new project where we're trying to downsize and sell our home and move into the RV. So I've had to cut back on how many videos I make, because that takes a lot of time to make videos too. I'm the only one that does the editing. So I know over at Nursing Our Travel Bug, you've got 2 video editors there. So that's awesome. And Tanya is hard at work at her art, and now hard at work at going through books that she doesn't want anymore. At any rate, I should probably call this quits for the night. I'm tired. Y'all are probably tired. I think we've got everything covered for this video. The only key is what's going to happen with that monetization tab. It says no restrictions. But where did that rate thing go? All right. With a Kindle, can you download your books so that when you don't have internet, you have them? Because I would like that. All right. I should call it a night. Thank you all so much for being here. This is this is wrapping up the creation of this video. We will see how this goes. If this video series actually gets some views and whatnot, I may pick this up and do this some more, but I'll discuss it tomorrow on VidLift. Just let everybody know that I've made a few of these videos that if anybody wants to find out. But all right, let's call it a night. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night.